Live button.
Oh, so we're live, most likely
We're
now.
most likely live. I have pressed the live button.
Excellent.
Welcome.
Happy Friday.
Happy end of lockdown for Perth. Sort of. It's midnight tonight.
Yes.
Did you see the thumbnail I put up on the video?
No. Oh, I need to go check it
Go
out.
go check the thumbnail. I really liked it. It's the lockdown special. We've got topics that have nothing to do with lockdowns, and that's why it's a lockdown special.
All right. Yeah, there's a guy by the bar. Looks like he's like, how it started, how it's going, and then he's on fire.
Yeah, everything's on fire.
Excellent. That's how it finished.
So welcome everybody to the State of the Beans talk. We are talking, we're beans, and we have topics, some great topics for you today. G'day Pog, welcome mate, good to see you. What was I going to say? I was going to say I've got topics about Windows 11, of course. That's been the most popular thing this week.
Ooh, superb.
Yeah. Then you've brought a couple of very spicy ones I saw.
Oh, I did. There was a lot more spiciness, but I'm like, you know what? I'll leave it mild. I don't want it to be too spicy.
What was I'm thinking of the police officer one. Is that the spicy one, or is there a spicier one?
Oh, I think there was spicier stuff out there, but it's just the police officer one that I thought would be a little bit funny.
Ah, okay, yeah, it's a bit cheeky. G'day, Crypto PTC Anarchist, good to see you again, and thank you very much for letting us know that the audio is good. G'day, Hammy, welcome. I think a lot of people are going to jump on today because it is what do you call it? It's lockdown in a lot of cities still, which
Yeah,
is
that's right.
which
We're
is
all stuck in our homes again. Welcome, guys, to your own homes.
we're we're live from our own homes this time,
Yeah.
and that means that we can't kind of communicate as quickly. Do you think there's a bit of a delay between hearing and stuff?
Oh, I don't know. I can
No?
hear you quite well. I'm responding as quickly as you finish your sentence.
Okay,
So,
brilliant.
yeah.
So let's get started. We've got police officers doing cheeky things to do other naughty things. Very American. Ghost of Tsushima is getting something, and Sony acquires another something. I really like talking about topics that might interest people, but not really giving them enough to really. It's like
Yeah,
clickbait, but it's not
I
enough.
love it. Everything is like, yeah, it's like audio clickbait. It's very cryptic. It's like, oh, I like Ghost of Tsushima. What is he gonna talk about?
And there is a rumor of something dead in space.
I wonder what it is.
Let's roll the intro.
Do you think they can still hear us? Oh, they can hear me.
Then we're back.
Oh,
I can't. Okay, so this is the thing with Streamlabs, right? You turn down one to have desktop audio, which is Casper coming through Google Meet because we're so epic because we use Google Meet. And then if you turn that
yeah.
down, it turns off audio everywhere else. So that's why Casper can be heard in amongst um,
The
the
music.
intro. Yeah.
The intro. Yeah, I like to provide additional commentary as the music's going.
And today, our best commentator is Nightbot, who seems to be stopping somebody spamming symbols. Who is? Oh, it's Crypto.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I'd also like to add, I have a cough, and it's not COVID. It's not. I know for a fact it's not.
Do we have the test results? Can you prove it?
No test results. I've been in lockdown. It's all good.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's hope so.
Shall we jump into our first topic, and you can take me through it because I
Okay.
really find this really interesting. This is something cheeky, and it's something that's pained. Actually, before we no,
Yes.
actually, hang on.
Sure.
No, after. I've got a story that
Okay.
relates to it. So,
Okay, so we hit
let's
it.
see if this works. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, thank you. The headphones are really nice and colorful. Review
Yeah.
coming soon. There will be a review of this.
Very
This
colorful.
one. This is the one I want to talk about.
Okay, yeah, the police officer. So now we get to see a video of a police officer admitting to playing Taylor Swift to keep a video off YouTube. So there seems to be this argument between representative of some sort of I don't know, I want to say like an anarchist activist group. Yeah, not an anarchist activist group. And essentially, there's a court hearing that's happening on the inside where a police officer shot an individual that had an episode in a store or a shopping mall. And this officer is being charged for manslaughter. And then on
Damn.
the outside, there's these activists, and they have big banners. And the police officer is telling the activists, can you put the
Yes.
banners away, or can you put the banners to the side because they're a trip hazard or whatever. And then the conversation starts getting quite heated. You can feel that the young individual is antagonizing the officer, and so the officer turns on the music on his phone and he's blasting it. And the young man, he seems a little bit confused. He thinks, "Are you trying to drown me out? What are you?" I just noticed what you're doing with your headphones.
Sorry.
I haven't actually seen the camera until now. And so the officer just tells him, he says, "Look, I'm doing this so that you can't post this on YouTube, so that it will get essentially, copyright striked or taken down." And touche to him, I suppose.
Those coppers are getting really, really smart. Like, if they put that much effort into their cop training, do you know? Like, if they put that much effort, I reckon they did really well. They would be great police officers.
Super cops.
Yeah, but they haven't.
What's your perspective on that? Is the police officer doing the right thing?
No. He's obviously thinking. Oh, he's obviously trying to cover himself in some way, shape, or form, right? So he's obviously trying to make this person who's, filming him not be able to film him without physically stopping him to film. Yeah. And so I think in America, this is a much bigger problem. But recently we saw the thing with Friendly Geordies, which had anti-terrorist police officers go and take down a 21-year-old YouTuber, I suppose. They recorded that and you could see the whole thing, the whole exchange happening. But this is funny. This is funny. A cop has managed to figure out that there's a copyright system on YouTube that takes down these guys and doesn't let them post these videos. And this is not the first time I'm hearing this. I've heard this before. Cops have done this in the past. So this is the first time it was like him explaining that that's why he's doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. And perhaps, I don't know if his manager or his officer is telling him, "Oh, look, we're trying to get some good publicity, so do whatever you can to minimize the broadcasting of us and of our negative interactions with other people." So maybe this is what he did. He's like, "Okay, the boss said we should have minimal, police exposure on the web, so."
I reckon they should walk around with little like Bluetooth speakers now and then just blast it.
Blast the music, yeah. If you want to have an argument with the police officer, he just blasts the music. He's like, "Not interested."
Absolutely. I reckon that'd be better. Sorry, I keep fiddling around with the text. I thought it'd be nice to show the chat in the video.
Yeah, it's nice to see the chat, yeah.
But it's white on white, so it looks a bit weird.
If you could make it black, it'd be nice.
So bystanders have a First Amendment right to record the police, but police officers have allegedly tried to exploit copyright laws. I still am not very clear about like the amendments in America. I think it's a big thing over there, and I think for us looking in, it's weird to hear that they have all these amendments that are like, the right to bear arms and so on and so forth. But that's the only one I remember because it's the most popular one. But I think free speech is one of them or something like that.
Yeah, Yogi Bear says, "Hack their speakers and play Benny Hill music." Oh, I would love that.
Joe Blog says the cops are doing it to antagonize them, and then I don't think it really matters. No, it probably doesn't. Because if it goes to a lawsuit or it goes to court, you can play it in court. Like, it's not going to change anything. This is just so it doesn't go into the into the public sphere to like create more controversy around people. Because you probably imagine that the cops are really in this weird position where if they do something bad, right, it gets online, everybody posts about it, and then anytime another cop does something, everybody's like, "Oh, all cops are bad, blah, blah, blah." And, it creates this perception.
I know, I hate that happens because these are people who, these are their lives, right? They're 9 to 5 or whatever hours that they have a shift on. And just because, there's one instance, all of a sudden everyone's evil. I mean, you could say that about any public group in existence, right? And it's just unfair to just have this blanket approach. And I think this is a societal issue, as a collective, where we just like to put out these blanket statements or have this blanket mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's just us, the human race. We're flawed like that, I suppose.
So this is a channel called Anti-Police Terror Project with 155 subscribers. They have shirts and everything.
Wow. Okay, that is one channel that I have more subscribers than.
Oh, really? What are you at now,
Yeah,
Gasparini?
I've got over 300.
Woo!
Woo!
Congratulations.
Yay. So exciting.
That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you for everybody that's subscribed. Love you.
I bet you some of them are watching here, so that's good. This is the fact that these guys, it feels like they're actually antagonizing the cops anyway. They're dressing up in like their logo, which is anti-police, ATP, right? Like it seems like this is all, yeah, I get it. The cops probably seen these guys trolling before and whatnot. But by the way, I'm not defending the cops in America because there's shit going on over there that's crazier. Yeah. Anywho, YouTube needs to take a long, hard look at itself if it's going to try and work this out. I bet you it'll just get taken down immediately because they protect the rights of all these film goers and whatnot. Musicians.
Yes, the big corporate companies, they get the premium protection,
Yeah.
because they're making the big bucks.
Exactly. So this is my story that I was going to tell you.
Yeah,
I
sure.
got a copyright strike recently.
I
know.
No.
And
What did you do?
yeah, it was insane. I don't understand why it happened. Well, I mean, I understand why it happened. No, actually, no, I don't. No, not the why. I know how it happened. So I don't use any copyrighted music in any of my videos. Everything is either free in Commons Attribution 3.0. So that means I have to just have a comment in the thing. That's fine. And the second thing is I bought music and I have also bought all the videos. So anytime videos like you see me using like a video in the background, that's all actually been purchased, and it's not cheap. It's like multitude of hundreds of dollars per year, which doesn't seem like much, I suppose, but it adds to the video, right? You want to make it a bit more interesting and not just a talking head. So I've had all these free songs that I've used from a place called bensound.org. And it's always been free, and then he sells some premium stuff. So Commons Attributions. Now, I've used those songs for absolutely years. Like since I started the channel, I've been a part of that website. I've downloaded the songs and I've used them, mixed them into the background of my videos. One of the songs is like this really cool intro song. Apparently it got automatically flagged or, striked, whatever you might want to call it. And it was a review of one of my keyboards, actually the Logitech keyboard, the wired one, the one that I generally use, the G815. And the intro, so it was like, showing the keyboard from all these fancy angles, and then there was music in the background. There was no talking, there was nothing else, it's just music and video. They flagged that as a song by this other producer, and I was like, what the hell? I went to that copyright claim, I played that song, and I was like, that's not the same song. There are two different songs, and yet they striked it. And I don't know. I was just like, I don't care. I deleted that part and I replaced it with another song. So I was like, screw this. I'm not even going to bother. Like the video is so old. It's like a year or two old, and it got flagged recently. It's just ridiculous. So I gave up.
Wow. That really, it sucks to hear that. And I've wondered that about my own channel when I'm creating my own music. What happens if my own music ends up sounding a little bit similar, like something that's already out there and is monetized by a corporation, and they flag me, and it's like, hold on, I created this myself. You can't do that.
Yeah.
It might happen. I'm waiting for the day when it happens.
Yeah, there's a few cases on YouTube where people did that. Somebody else claimed them, and they're like, no, it's our own song. But there's like a slight similarity, like 2 bars or something. And then they always lose. YouTube never helps the
Little guy.
the little no, not even the little guy. The claimant is always in the right because of the way the copyright laws work. It's ridiculous.
Yes, it's to protect the work.
Yeah.
Right.
The burden of proof is on you after you get flagged.
Interesting. I wonder if your own creation precedes the one that's getting monetized. If you can win that battle, because hold on, I created the song before. Then you go to a lawsuit, you start suing them. You're like, you've created work that's just like mine, but then you gotta, make sure that your
Yeah.
work has been actually copyrighted.
So what you can do is for, I think it's like $20, you can submit your song into a company that does the automatic copyright detection.
Oh, okay.
So you submit your song there, and then if you've been striked, you can claim yourself and get half the profits.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's insane. But you could do that, and then you could claim yourself or something, just to protect yourself. I think a lot of people do that. Shall we jump into the next topic?
Yes, let's hit it.
Tell me about this, my dear friend.
Which
Richard
one?
Branson aims to fly to space before Jeff Bezos.
Oh,
Virgin
yes. I
Galactic
just think it's
confirms.
pretty funny. There's a picture of him being like, yeah, got heaps of money going to space.
I think the flight is set for 14th of July.
Is it?
I think so. I think I saw something this morning about it. And
Oh, because it says,
Oh,
Richard
20th of
Branson
July.
next slated for 11th
Oh,
of
11th
July.
of
The
July, there
company
you go.
confirmed Thursday. Branson's new flight date will come before arrival Jeff Bezos, which is expected to be on the 20th of July. Wow, so that's exciting. It's basically rich people bragging to other rich people that I'm going to get to space before you.
this is like the most cyberpunk film script ever. Two corporate companies fighting to get to space first. I think
Yeah.
it's absolutely incredible that we're living in a time where we're watching these like companies. They're just companies. One of them is
Yes.
one of them is a airline, sure, and the other one is a online retailer, or what would you call it? Would you call them an online retailer? Or
Yes, I
aggregator
would
of
say so. Yeah, like an online retailer, but that's kind of, yeah, I would say so, right? Because what else do they do? I mean, they have those stores that
Audible.
you can, walk into, and they're like self-service
Yeah.
stores that they've created. Yeah.
So seeing these two fight it out is absolutely fantastic. But
Yeah.
just like Yogi Bear says, it sounds ridiculous. Giant EP show off.
Pretty much. Yes, I agree.
But I mean, at the end of the day, you want your share price to go up, right? With this, because you're spending a lot of money on this. This cost is not going to come back in the next 12 months, like the expense to get to space, right? It's going to be a very long-term investment. So you want your share price to go up. And if you're the first to do it, well, maybe some people will FOMO in and buy your shares.
It could be funny because you could put it on on your company slogan. It's like, our director was the first one to space, or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, the advertising, right? The amount
Yeah.
of news coverage, because the first will always get the most news coverage, and all news coverage is great. I mean, look at Bill Cosby.
We're talking about, all right, yes. Well played. Bill Cosby.
He's he's managed to get out after all the shenanigans.
Wait, are you telling me he's out of prison?
Mate, he's out.
He's out.
He's out. Bill Cosby
thought-
has got out.
About a month ago or so, I remember just thinking about him and just thinking, oh my
bet
God,
he was
he was
thinking
a
about
huge
you.
celebrity. He was probably thinking about me too. And he was like, I got to get out, got to catch the latest episode of Game with Casper. So he did it for that. He's probably one of my subscribers. I was just thinking, like, he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison because he had something ridiculous, right? 20, 30, 40 years, maybe
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah.
And he's how old? 60, 70 years old?
Yeah, he's not
Bill-
a young man anymore. Look him up.
He's not a young, spring chicken anymore. He's 83. My gosh. Okay. He's 83.
Actually, while you're doing that, can you also check if Virgin Galactic is publicly traded, or any of the Virgin things are publicly traded?
So Virgin Galactic Holdings, yes, on the American stock market,
No, there you go.
$43 a share.
Can you tell me what it was last week, the price?
Last week, okay, 1 week ago, it was about $57 a share.
So this has not helped the share price go up at all.
No, it's made a tank, if anything.
Damn.
It's dropped by about 10%. No, 23%. My goodness, from the 24%. Oh dear Lord.
Puts a new meaning to him saying, to the moon!
Yeah, I know they're going underground.
Underground. Ethnic asks, hey people, will you be getting the Battlefield 2142? I think it's 2042, not 21. 2142 was the one beforehand, the older one. But anyway, yes, I will be. Will you be, Casper?
No, not me.
Casper's not a first-person shooter kind
I
of guy.
know. I used to be, not anymore. I'm more of a single player experience kind of a guy now.
Bit of a solo, one-handed experience.
Yeah, I think so. But I am going to be enjoying Diablo. That's multiplayer.
Oh, can't wait. So we've got a date set, right?
We
For
do. We do.
Diablo.
I've taken time off work. I've booked
Yeah.
my time off, and we're looking at the weekend of that 24th September.
24th September. Okay, and I'm going to take the week off after 2, but hopefully to do this stream and then renovate my laundry.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes, just to Pog's point, Bill Cosby got out and Britney Spears did not. Have you heard the whole Britney Spears shenanigans?
Wait, Britney Spears is in prison?
No, she's got some sort of custodialship with her father, basically owning her.
What?
Have you not heard of this?
Oh my goodness, guys, I've been living under a rock. I don't know what's going on.
This is crazy. I don't think we should get into it, but it's
Okay,
amazing.
yeah, we're a tech channel, right? We still do that, right?
That's right. Oops.
Gaming.
Oops,
Tech.
we got off topic again.
Yeah,
Yogi Bear
Richard Branson
says,
in space.
Yogi Bear says he's out on a technicality. Basically, he made a deal to talk in a civil trial rather than plead the fifth. The prosecutor broke the promise, so he should never have been tried. Damn, it's a technicality he got off on.
Cosby's out on a technicality.
Damn.
Oh, well, obviously he can hire some of the world's finest lawyers, so of course he got out. Yeah.
You know, with a man with that much money, does he really need to go doing what he did? Like, couldn't he just pay to get what he got at the end of the day?
Well, I think that, are you talking about the things that he did, or he's supposedly did?
Well,
is that what you're referring to?
Is it still alleged? Do you still use the word allegedly? The fact
When
that he
there's
got
so many-
convicted, but then he got overturned.
Right. I don't know, man. I really don't know. With that many victims, then you're probably right. I shouldn't be saying allegedly, right? Unless they're extremely well organized in some way.
So, if we get cancelled tomorrow,
You
On
can blame
Twitter.
it on me.
blame it on you. Blame it on the Casper.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep going. Yes, I'm excited for 2042. I cannot wait. Actually,
Yes.
what game? I was going to say there's a game I needed to play.
A game? Okay,
Oh.
first person game?
Yes. It'll come back to me. But yeah, so Diablo
Okay.
is 23rd of September, did you say?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So stay tuned for that, guys. We'll make sure to let everybody know we're going to do a live stream, 24 hours over the weekend. Jump in, have a yarn. We're going to be idiots. We're going to be talking a lot of crap. Probably a lot of shit too. And then we're going to... the proceeds, hopefully, will go to a charity. Have we figured that out? Which charity?
Still haven't chosen one. I'm asking around. I'm getting some recommendations. If anyone in chat has a recommendation, I would love to hear it, because we are trying to find a charity that doesn't get the recognition or money that they should. So, probably one of the underfunded ones out
Anything
there.
to do with men, basically.
Basically, yes. Everything to do with men being awesome.
So what we might do is we'll do this thing where you'll probably be able to directly go to the charity and instead of going through YouTube, because YouTube takes a cut. We don't really want to do that.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea. I like that.
So we'll
Yes.
figure it out. I might even contact them and see if they can have a special link for us, or I'll set up anyway, I'll figure it out. No worries. Let's get
Okay,
on to the
sure.
next topic.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Ghosty.
Oh, yes. Ghost of Tsushima. That was a bit of a surprise. So, my friend,
I still
There are
haven't
room-
played much of it. I really
you still haven't played the original, right? I mean, well, yeah.
I played
Ghost of
about a
Tsushima.
couple of hours. I played with you, obviously, and I played an hour by
Yes,
myself. And then you took the disc back.
I did because I was playing the multiplayer aspect with some
Was it
people.
any good, the multiplayer part?
It's incredibly good.
Oh,
It is so
really?
good. It's a big surprise because it was this free added element to the game that nobody expected.
Yeah.
So we got more than we bargained for. And the multiplayer is extremely fun. Gives you so much more longevity from the game, even though it's a big game anyway. You get about
Wow.
60 hours in the game doing everything in it.
So there's
And
also a new.
yes, and now we're getting an expansion to it. So it's Ikishima Island, I guess. So with the director's cut version, this is the little bit upsetting thing, right?
All right.
Because if you own the game already on the PS4, I think you need to pay. What do you pay? So you can buy the game separately for I think it's $70, 70 US on the PS5, 60 on the PS4, and then to get an upgrade for the PS4, you need to pay 10 US dollars.
Oh, so if you own the game and you want to get
Yeah,
upgraded for PS5, it's another $10 on top.
yeah.
Damn.
You can also upgrade directly from original Ghost of Tsushima PS4 to director's cut on PS5 for 30 US dollars. Uh,
Wow, that's okay. Look, they've
so
got a lot of goodwill though with the game. So
they do, yeah, essentially. So if you buy the director's cut on the PlayStation 4, you can upgrade it for the PS5 for $10. If you have the original PS4, you can pay 30 US dollars to get the director's cut on the PS5.
all I have to say is EA Games, screw you, because they're the ones who did all these edition things for the first time. They
Yeah.
did like a special edition, or like I saw that with Battlefield mainly, and like Star Wars and stuff. But what is going on when they make these like director's cut and all this sort of like weird editions? Like why? And the difference usually is an extra like headgear or a hat or a different sword, and then director's edition is like improved graphics, and you're like, but it's the same game.
Oh, right. So
So
because there's additional content, so there's expansion to it, so they gotta justify themselves, right? There's a new story, there's new things that you can do in the game, there's new costumes, weapons. So it's essentially it's like a mini game. Think of it as a big DLC, or think of it as a Witcher expansion,
right, but then
right?
don't call it a director's cut because
They want to, I guess, director's cut because they want to double dip in a way, or they want to entice people who don't have the game to begin with as well. So as opposed to making it a standalone game, which they would charge $30, they can charge $70 to sell you the entire package.
yeah,
And they figure they can get more money out of it that way. And there's arguments for and against this. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, they can justify themselves doing that because to begin with, it was a fantastic product. It's a great game, so it makes sense that people will want this, people will buy this, and people will spend the money again because there is nothing like it out there to compete. So
yeah.
if you have a product that's so great, then I guess you're not at the mercy of the customer."
That's to Joe Blogg's point. Director cut is a hot buzzword, gets people in. He also said that asks, is the director's cut a DLC over and above the original game? And it seems like it is. It
Yes.
has a new island. I think I just flicked through it here. It was popping up. Dynamic
It does.
4K, haptic feedback. Did it not have had? Oh, it didn't. Did it for the
It
PlayStation
was a it
5?
was a PS4 game. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a
Uh,
shame that there's no PS5 games to. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no. This should be an exclusive. This should have come out on the PS5.
I'm glad it came out on the PS4. It was an amazing experience. I mean, you do get the free upgrade of it just being 60 FPS
Ah,
4K
okay.
anyway. So that's
Oh,
that's
right.
already there. You can play it, but you don't have these added features like the haptic feedback, and they've added Japanese lip syncing to the whole game as well now. So this perfectly syncs in with the Japanese language, which is quite cool. So I think the probably the best aspect of this is the additional content. That's what you're going to be buying this director's cut for. And Joe's absolutely right. Yes, it is a hot buzzword. It's something that we understand, from the movie industry as well, that you get all this extra additional content. It's all fluffed out. Uh, w- would you get this if you got the PS5? Assuming you got the PS5, because damn, it's so hard to get one. Would you want to get this?
Yes. If I was to, because I don't have the game, right? To experience it, you wouldn't. This is how they get you. So you go, okay. I haven't been able to buy the PlayStation 5. I thought I'd hold out. Let's say I got the PlayStation 5, and then I sit down and go, I want to play that game, and I look at the versions. I'm like, I could buy a PlayStation 4 game version of it, and I could buy the PlayStation 5 game, which is $20-$30 more. One of them has more content. I'm going to spend more. But I could technically get the PS4 version, play it on my PS5, and kind of get the same experience, but miss out on these little things. But hey, I bought a PlayStation 5, so shouldn't I experience everything that it has to offer? So what they're doing is reselling reskinned PlayStation 4 games to people who have a PS5 to get more money out of them, even though they have no new content. They're just tweaking it.
Yeah, it's a nice way and an easy way to also beef out the catalog for the PlayStation
Yes.
5, because as we know currently there's, I would say, 3 games that are solely dedicated for the PS5, which is not that many, but
Is
they're
Miles Morales one of
amazing.
them?
No, I would say that because that's a cross-gen game, but
Oh,
it
okay.
is a PlayStation exclusive. You have Demon Souls, Ratchet and Clank, and Returnal. 3 games that you can't get anywhere else, only
Ratchet
on
and
the
Clank
PS5.
would be the only reason for me to buy a PS5.
Oh my God, it is so good.
Oh, don't.
It's so good. You know, when both of us we saw it and we were like, this looks like it'd be a pretty good
Yeah,
game. It
yeah.
would be a game that's appealing to adults and children alike. It's
I'm a
like the whole
child.
family experience, right? And it is so charming, that game. It is so beautiful, so creative. It makes you feel good just playing it. It's wholesome. It's a wholesome feeling.
Yeah. And just to add to Pog's point, director's cut, the content should have already been there. Well, that's the thing. So the word director's cut is usually used in film where the production company has cut the movie in a way that they want to show it to shorten the length and basically get it out there, right? And just create a different version of it. The director gets to recut it himself on his vision, and generally speaking, it tends to be the one that people say is the best version of that game, right? But with a video game, you don't have a time limit. Maybe you have a development time limit, but it's not like you don't want to make the movie short or the game short. It'd be like, if I have content, why shouldn't I leave it in there? But again, if it was unpolished, then you go, take this out, this wasn't as good, we'll work on it later, and then maybe you get a director's cut version.
Yeah, that's a good actually question. My thoughts are that when you're developing a game, you want to get it out there as quickly as you can do so with enough content, so it doesn't feel bare bones. But you want to start covering those costs, right?
Yeah.
Because it costs a lot of money and a lot of time to make these AAA titles. So it makes sense that they're, about, let's say they still have a whole bunch of content and they think, okay, we'll use that as DLC, but let's put it out there. We got to start making money, and then we can make some additional money with that content on working with a small team. So it kind of makes sense how they stagnated, and now they're double dipping, and it's all coming out of the fact that these huge projects cost a lot of money, and then they're a big risk as well. They can make a company either sink or swim. Because if you just spent $300 million on a game, which something like Grand Theft Auto has, and if you can't cover those costs, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble.
And the thing is, especially with a game like Ghost of Tsushima, where you have a single player experience, and yes, there's a multiplayer part, but it's not like Grand Theft Auto Online, where you can keep spending money to buy gold and you have open world to sort of fiddle around and stuff like that. They've made games as a service just amazing. Like Grand Theft Auto Online is an amazing money maker. And so is things like Call of Duty. So with a single player experience, you can only make money on things like a director's cut, a DLC, an expansion. And what the hell is the difference between a DLC and an expansion these days? Like, to me, an expansion used to be a whole new game. Like, do you remember Oblivion Shivering Isles?
I do vaguely. I
That
don't
was
think
an
I actually
expansion.
played it.
That was a whole new world.
It was huge, was it?
Yeah, it was
It
massive.
was massive.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of was the expansions to The Witcher 3 being Blood and what is it?
Blood and
Hearts
Bone. And
uh,
Heartstone.
Blood and Wine and Heart of Stone,
Yeah.
right? Blood and Wine, Heart of right. These expansions were decent. Like we're talking 20-hour experiences, right?
Yeah, within the same world.
Yeah, within the same world. You have additional locations, you have an additional storyline, and that I guess that's where the reputation was built for CDPR, and then all of that reputation was just destroyed.
Absolutely. Actually, I've been meaning to go back to play The Witcher. I still haven't finished Blood and Wine was the one, not Blood
Yes,
and Wine.
Blood and Wine. Yes.
Blood and Wine. Because I'm still in the new country, or like the area that you're at. And it's massive, so much to do. It's a whole nother land. It's great. I love it. It's one of those things where you go, that is an expansion, or it's definitely not a DLC. To me, a DLC is like,
Think of Spider-Man's episodes. Those I feel like that's DLC, right? Because each one was about 2 or 3 hours,
right.
And they had 3 of these episodes that were added on to the main game.
I would still call that an expansion. To me, a DLC is, let's say I'm playing a racing game. A DLC to me is 10 new cars. That's a DLC.
Okay.
So it's like content that doesn't it doesn't fundamentally add more to my game time. It just adds to more stuff you can do. That sounds really stupid. So it's like
no. I know where you're going. It's like you have added assets in the game, but not necessarily like it doesn't progress the story or expand the location. Or I get you.
Yeah, horse armor is probably a great example. Thanks, Yogi Bear.
Yeah.
So like in GTA, if they add a couple of new guns, a couple of new cars, that to me is a DLC. Anything beyond that adds more story, content, that makes me go to the game and play longer and something completely new, I think that's an expansion. And so, I haven't seen a decent expansion in a long time. Yeah, I think extra Battlefield 2 maps were a DLC. Like,
right.
Oh, actually, sorry, an expansion. So if they added new vehicles, okay, maybe I'm being a bit petty, but I think there's a fine line between DLC and expansion. I think expansion adds a lot more than a DLC, that's for sure.
Yes, I think so too. Yeah, an expansion. It's like you have DLC, you've got expansion, and then you've got main game. It's like the tiers, right?
Yeah.
The tiers of the level of content.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you put it much better than me. Actually, because we spoke about Ratchet and Clank, I saw an article here about how it runs. So let me just share it.
Oh, okay. Let's see it. Yes.
So Ratchet and Clank's fidelity mode gets performance boost for 120 hertz TVs, which is the one you have 120 hertz TV, right?
I do, but only for 1440. So it's not a 4K 120 hertz. So it doesn't have HDMI 2.1.
It runs at 40 frames rather than 30 frames after the latest patch. So can I ask you this? What mode are you playing it in at the moment?
I'm playing it in the performance mode.
Which is how many frames?
It's 60 frames.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and... Oh, wait. The performance mode now can do 120? Oh, wait, no. Wait, what's this? It now runs at 40 FPS rather than 30.
On fidelity mode.
Oh, fidelity. Oh, sorry, right, fidelity. Oh, and then the performance gets a 120 FPS? Is that what they're trying to say? Because I'm playing at a solid 60.
No, it runs at 40 when used with a 120 hertz display.
Oh, okay, all right.
So
that's strange.
I think it's how they multiplied it, right?
I don't know how that works. Why would a different display enable you to get more frames?
Yeah, because it's a divisional thing, right? So that when you play it at 40, it's three times the 12, but because yeah, because if you
See,
did it with
even
60,
Joe's asking the question as well. He's like, "Why do you need a 120 hertz display to run 40 FPS? It doesn't make sense to me." I don't
yeah,
know. I
variable
don't know what
refresh
it is.
rate.
Yeah, but okay. It looks gorgeous on
Yeah,
the
this is yeah, exactly.
performance
See,
mode.
hang on, let me read this. This is what I mean.
Okay,
It's
okay, right.
divisible, right? So the reason is that in order for motion to display smoothly, the game's frames should ideally divide equally across the display's refresh rate. It's easy for 60 hertz display to display 30 frames for in a game, for example, because it shows a new frame once every couple of refreshes. But other frame rates that don't actually divide into 60 are more complicated. That's why TV manufacturers have put in a lot of effort to make sure that movies, which are typically shown at 24 frames per second, can play smoothly without judder or otherwise at 60 hertz displays. That's why 120 hertz TV makes smooth 40 frames content possible, because each frame can be divided across 3 refreshes. That's what I mean. That's why I divided 12
Oh, yeah,
by
120
3.
by
Yeah.
3, you get 40 FPS.
Yeah,
Right.
correct. So that's why I was sitting there going, there is a reason for this. Because if you've ever, I'm not sure if you've ever seen, it's actually really easy to test on your own monitor. You can
Right.
get an application to change the refresh rate of your monitor. You could change it to 80 and then lock a game to 40 frames and it'll look smooth. But if you set your refresh rate on a monitor to 100 and play at 40, it'll look not quite right. The timings of because it's not variable, right? When it's not variable refresh rates,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
the game doesn't match the refresh rate of the TV. So the TV is like the same, and then the refresh rate is like this. So this is out of sync with the TV. But variable refresh rate means that it's both syncing to 40 or whatever it might be.
Okay, I see. So they've essentially created this patch which allows you to get that perk on that particular hertz monitor, as opposed to like if you had a 60. Sorry, if you had a 60, this would not be possible. But on a 120, yes.
Because it's divisible, it can fit in between the things equally, and you don't have a missed frame or a lost refresh rate.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Jared asks today, mate. Asks 120 hertz on TV isn't fake. Not these days. Not these days. Back in the day, they did these stupid interlaced things where they got 260. They basically
Yeah.
doubled to 60, but it was half a frame, so it was fake 120. And most of them were for sports, right? Because you could double it up and make it feel like it's really smooth and fast, but it was less frames.
Yeah.
Yeah, interlace is
with the
fake.
brand new with these brand new TVs that can do 120 hertz, it's incredible. I
Yeah.
mean, they are not cheap, but it is amazing. You
Eh,
need the top end TVs to really get that experience.
Yeah, and if you can afford it, first of all, if you can afford a PlayStation 5 and you can get one, you probably should have got a TV at the same time because you would have waited as long. Ethnic posed a good question. What do you think of AMD's FSR? So this is the answer to DLSS. Have you
Oh.
seen anything about it?
No, I haven't. Not much publicity I haven't been exposed to it, nor have I seen any demonstrations of it. What about yourself?
Yeah, I've watched the what are those guys? Foundry. They
Yeah,
did
Digital Foundry.
Digital
Yeah.
Foundry. They did a thing about it,
Yeah.
and they really liked it in some games and didn't really in others. I also saw Linus's version of it. So basically, there's one thing I wanted to show. I wonder if you can see. Oh, here we go. Okay. So this is Control at native 4K, right?
Okay.
Then this is at sharpened 1440p, so with 30%, well, don't know what that means, RIS or whatever. And then this is 1440p, 50% sharpened. So it looks pretty good is what I'm getting at. So from my understanding, right, it is really easy to add into a game. So as a developer, it's very easy to add FSR into a video game. Like incredibly easy. To the point where I saw a conversation on Twitter where a developer added into the game, one developer in 4 hours had it working. That is like incredible.
Really? Within 4 hours?
Within 4 hours, he had it working.
What do we know what game it was?
I can't remember now, but I could look it up. I could search it up.
That is incredible. Wow.
And so it acts a little bit like DLSS, right? Without
Yeah.
the basically sort of without the AI side. So it's a bit of it kind of resizes and upsizes it and does a lot of trickery. So it's not as smart. It doesn't use the tensor cores or whatever the AI cores they have.
Right.
And as you can sort of see in this photo here, you can see the blur is a bit more on the left-hand side. Can you see that?
What am I seeing on the left-hand side? Sorry.
The guy's face is a little bit more blurry than the one on the
It
right.
is. I can definitely see that. Yeah, it's really sharp on the right-hand side.
Yeah, so it's basically it makes it a little bit more blurry, and then they use a sharpness filter on top. So what the developer do is they mix and match all these effects to try and get the thing to be better, and then it does some work in the back on FSR, right? But the best thing about this FSR, right? This is
Yeah.
gonna blow your mind.
Okay, stop blowing my mind.
I mean, if you really want me to.
I said only my mind though.
Okay, only your mind. All right, all
Yes.
right. Keep your pants on. It will work on every single AMD card, as long as it's not a mobile one, I think, or maybe yeah. Basically, all AMD cards up to last 5-10 years sort of thing.
Whoa, that's pretty unreal. So they just have a software patch that can do it all.
Yeah, basically an update allows the card to do it. Joe Blog says here FSR is instead of all other sharpening effects. So basically, it's like it improves the frame rate because you're rendering at a low resolution, but then it sharpens the whole thing and puts on an effect on top of the game. So you're not actually using AI to like upscale it.
Oh my God. You know what? I can see in the presentation, the guy who's presenting it, ending with that statement and then just dropping the mic on stage.
Pretty much.
Just walking off and everyone just going wild.
Joe Blog says, and I'm pretty sure there is nothing to tweak on the developer side. Actually, there is. So once they run it, they can tweak the effects, and there's all these little compressions that basically is just almost like a drag and drop. Not like a drag and drop. It's like a little module you move around that will just get the right look for the game. So that's all the developers does is just make sure that it looks right.
Very interested to see how this will work with future games and what kind of problems we may come across.
Look, I think this is AMD's answer to DLSS, but it's not real DLSS. Like it's
Okay.
DLSS is sampling with AI cores that actually upscales it. These guys are using a effect on top.
Yeah, so it's like illusions. They're like, how can we make it look like it's doing it without it actually doing it?
That's a great trick. It's amazing.
Yeah,
like I'll
it's
give them
amazing.
that. And if somebody's got not a great computer, and right now with the lack of the inability to get decent graphics cards, they're playing new games on older rigs, and I think this makes sense. And I think DLSS in general was probably one of the best things they've ever done.
Yeah.
Like that's the reason to
Yogi
buy
Bear
it.
is quite right in saying it's like Snapchat filters for video games. That's what it kind of feels
Spot
like,
on.
right?
Spot
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
mate. Absolutely.
You know what? It was probably a guy on TikTok. He went to Lisa Su and he's like, I've got an idea. And he was promoted.
From TikTok expert to like FSR developer.
FSR developer. Yeah.
Cool. Let's jump into the next one. Tell me more about this.
Oh, yes. This was very exciting to see because the Japanese Twitter, they tweeted out that image, but with an added slither in between Celine from Returnal and the lady from Horizon Zero Dawn. Sorry, I forget what her name is. But there was the image of Demon Souls there. And instead of Housemark, the logo next to PlayStation Studio, it had Blue Point.
Oh.
And they were saying, oh, congratulations on our latest studio. And then they immediately took it down. They were like, uh-oh.
Oh,
we
cheeky.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because it was supposed to be Housemark that was being advertised to the public that, they're being absorbed. They have been acquired by Sony. So So we still believe that Bluepoint will also get that treatment,
Here
will
it is.
be accepted. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, accepted as part of the family. This is very exciting. And this is communicating to us even more so that Sony is this prestige studio and it's acquiring these studios very carefully, right?
Oh,
PlayStation
absolutely.
Studios is very careful in who they want to be as part of the team. And Jim Ryan made a statement. It was an interesting kind of like attack at Xbox, saying that, oh, it's great if you've got all the money in the world, but if you don't have the talent, it doesn't mean anything. And look, he's right in saying that
Yeah.
you can't throw money at a problem as great as it is. And well, I mean, you kind
Well,
of can, right? You kind of can. But what Sony has been doing, they've been building relationships for really long periods of time. We're talking 15 years in the making with some of these companies.
yeah.
And now that they've seen that these companies have really proven themselves, they've established very strong relationships with the management teams, the directors there. So it only makes sense that they just become as part of the family and start working together and developing IPs that the developers want to make anyway.
Yeah.
But now Sony is getting a bigger cut and it's cutting away the competition in a way. And it's creating this spectrum of these really the best studios, just the best gaming developers out there, and an experience that you can't get anywhere but on the PlayStation. And then obviously on the PC, they'll start putting out the games there when they've juiced out everything they could have from the console gamers.
Yeah, right.
So what do you think about this acquisition? Does this mean anything to you? Do you know the studios?
Well, looking from left to right there, I mean, I know the games. I don't know the studios. I think to me, it just seems like they need to do this because Microsoft is doing exactly the same thing.
I agree that the added pressure from Microsoft is forcing Sony's hand
Yeah.
to start, creating a bigger base of developers on their side, and the ones that they've chosen make a lot of sense.
They have to be more
There's
selective. Like you
they
said, they don't
do,
have all the
yeah.
money in the world.
You're absolutely right. They have to be very careful. They have to be very selective. They can't have a shotgun approach like Sony. Sorry, it's not Sony, Microsoft,
Microsoft, yeah.
where they just walk into the room with a shotgun and start blasting everything. They're like, we want this, we want that, we want this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And sorry, there's a bit of a rumor
ooh,
that
tell me.
Microsoft might be acquiring Sega, which would be very
Righto.
interesting
Does
because
Microsoft have a fighting game at the moment of their own?
they do. It's called Killer Instinct.
Ah, okay.
Yes. And there's also further rumors that Sony is looking at acquiring Arc System Works, also very talented studio
What do
that
they
makes
make?
they make fighting games, a
Yeah.
lot of fighting games. They specialize in that field. They made that Dragon Ball Fighters game. They made the Guilty Gear franchise, Blaze Blue, and all these anime fighting games. Right? They're essentially like 3D games that look very anime-ish, and it would make kind of sense for them to do that because they've purchased Evo,
Yeah.
the Evo event, which is a fighting tournament that happens every year. So if they purchase Arc System Works, that will be another big mic drop. That'll be huge.
I'm gonna sort of double down on this. I don't think
Yeah.
I think maybe this was an accident, but I wonder if it was a bit of a political move.
You mean it was like cheeky? Yes.
Yeah, it's just these things don't happen. You don't announce. You like if this came out, if this Blue Point wasn't already purchased. Do you know what I mean? If they weren't already acquired and this came out, this could be seen as market manipulation. They've already
Right.
signed a deal. These guys are already sold. 100% Blue Point's already been purchased or acquired or whatever.
So we're saying that a slip up would be catastrophic, like would be
Yeah,
like we're talking lawsuits.
Yeah, we're talking like Sony could, yeah, it's bad. Like if a slip up
Okay.
like this would happen, it's bad. So to me, it seems like almost nobody probably got fired, and then on the other hand, it was probably meant they probably did it on purpose, maybe to get like a bit of attention. Like we're talking about it now, right? But yeah, I think they've already got them. I think Blue Point's already got.
I think you're right. I want to say you're right because things like that, they must go through some sort of approval, right? It goes to your manager or goes to somebody else and, can you just check my work? I'm about to
Correct.
tweet this. And they're like, it's not Blue Point, it's Housemark.
Yeah, and
You
they
know?
don't even use like this whole thing. It's not even used by like they don't log into Twitter and then tweet. They have a whole media management system that is connected to all their social accounts where they schedule and put them all in, and it's all approved. And it's not like you logging into Twitter and being, ha ha ha, just gotta tweet it out. It's not like that. There's a whole management system behind it. It's,
Yes.
that's why I'm thinking like this wasn't really I think it's a bit of a cheeky one. And like when my company got acquired, it took 6 months. And that was quick. So I reckon they've been in talks with Blue Point for over a year. And when it gets to marketing and somebody in marketing goes, the manager's like, hey, so I just need you to do that thing, add this little slither of probably add it between Eternal and the other chick, wherever it fits, make it look nice. Here's the logos, here's what you say on it, and then send it to the I don't know, the PR department. Like this is it's not like, oops, I just created it on Photoshop and accidentally, like it's
Yeah. Oops.
for them to
Hours
even
of work just leaked.
yeah, like for them to even create that, they would have. The marketing department's usually the last to know these things. So whoever put this it's just
Yeah, you're right. It's probably already happened. This is very exciting. There's so many leaks like pouring out now. That Ikishima leak, for instance, that happened. And I'm surprised that Sony just put it out there as we'll just put it as a standalone trailer, just boom, just like that. Because there's a lot of talk of either a July or August event solely for PlayStation. And
wow.
do they have so much content that they just put out this Ghost of Tsushima director's cut out there? Or
Well,
are
they do
they not
now.
having one at all? Yeah.
They've got a lot now, right?
Yeah, well, they said, I think Jim Ryan or what's his name? Holzman, whatever his name is. He has an interesting name. I always forget his name. The guy, the like director, not Jim Ryan, but the other one. Anyway, he said they have about 25 games in the making. So at PlayStation Studios.
Wow. They better be all PS5 exclusives though.
I don't know if it's gonna be all of them. I think they still want to keep the Herman Holst. That's the name of the guy. I think they still want to make sure that they can continue to respect the user base that doesn't have a PS5. So they made a lot of decisions to change God of War, make that a PS4 game, and Horizon Zero Dawn, make that a PS4 game. And now they're changing, I think, the new Gran Turismo to make that a PS4 game as well. So
do you think that's a reaction to the stock availability?
I think, that was a reaction to that. And just incapability of making more PS5s and realizing how hot these things are.
They've been disappearing off the shelves. It's insane.
Yeah, so I think 2023 will probably be the focus of releasing PS5 exclusives.
Damn.
Yeah, they'll do it every now and then. Like maybe every third game might be a PS5 exclusive or something.
Yeah, that's a long way away.
Yeah, because they want to transition that team over. They want to be able to do that, but yeah, kind of sucks.
So, a couple of last stories before we get into a rant by me.
Yeah. Silent Hill, yes. Yogi
Dead
Bear
Space.
Says. Oh, Dead
Reboot.
Space. Speaking of horrors, yes, Dead Space. Oh my God. Do you think that's happening?
Look, Dead Space is probably one of my favorite horror games, right around Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't call Resident Evil as a horror game. I'll call it as a action game. Action horror. Like, there's not many pure horror games, right? Like The Village or like the house one from Resident Evil.
Yes. That's so true.
Silent Hill is a horror game. Like those are horror games, right? I would say Dead Space 1 was a horror game, and then after that it became a bit of an action thing. But the first one was just it was really nice and slow. There was not that much shooting. It had to be very precise, or it was it was deadly in that regard. It
Yeah.
felt great, so I really enjoyed playing it. I played number two, didn't really like it, and number three, Dead Space 3. Yeah, didn't enjoy that one. It became a bit
Oh
of an
yeah,
action.
that Space 3, I think it lost a lot of its horror elements because it was this action two-player game, co-op game, wasn't it?
Yeah, correct. So,
Yeah.
all in all, I'm pretty excited about this. I feel like they're testing the ground. I think they've started developing and they're like, oh, let's just see what people think. Let's leak something out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised because there is a game called The Callisto Protocol
Oh,
that
yeah.
we saw a trailer of. Do you
Mm.
remember seeing that?
No, did you want me to look it up? Hang on.
Yeah, if you check it out, it gives you very Dead Space vibes. The trailer is really freaky, creepy, and looks really cool. Like it's super sci-fi. I think it's taking place in a prison in outer space. So it's like on a different planet, the prison, right? And yeah, so essentially the cellmate, he gets up and he's like, "Oh, something's going on over there," or whatever. And then he fails to realize that there's an alien with him in the actual cell. So it's done really cool, like, and it looks pretty scary from the trailer. They get the horror elements right. You know, you get that isolation, you get the lighting, you get that drab environment, that
Yeah.
level of, yeah, just despair. So to know that Dead Space is also in the works along this side, so that would be interesting. And because Dead Space has such a big name for itself, would it overshadow this project?
I wonder if. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It might do, but it depends who comes up first, right? So if this comes
Yeah,
out 3 months apart, I think there'll be no problem at all.
this is scheduled for 2022, but I'm probably going to expect this in 2023.
Yeah, more than
Yeah.
likely. Actually,
We
Dying
yeah.
Light is coming out soon. Did you see?
I did. I saw the trailer and I like it. I like the look of it. They've
Yeah.
taken a lot more time to work on it, and yeah, they're coming out swinging. It looks cool.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be quite a cool little RPG. I like the running aspect of it and having to, jump through buildings. I always found that really fun in the first one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I reckon it'll be good.
That's
Seems
cool,
really
but
vertical.
I'm sure you're more excited for Far Cry 6 though, right? That's
Oh,
your jam.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
of course, of course. But we have to wait to get what we can.
absolutely. Yeah. So, okay, what is the game that you're most anticipating this year? The second half of the year.
Battlefield 2042.
That's your most hype game.
Yeah, and I say that because
Yep.
it's like I say it like that because yeah, I love Battlefield. Like I know what
Yeah.
it is. It's a shooter. I know what to expect. I'm gonna enjoy it. But there's no other game that I sit down at my computer go, oh, I wish I would play that actually. Like I don't have anything like that. I'm excited for like games to come out and try them and play them, but I have not. I've been, I guess maybe as I age, I found it very hard to find a game that actually like keeps my focus for longer than an hour. I find that very difficult, especially story-driven game. Maybe that's why I'm into shooters because it's not just go in do and get out, right? I find it very hard
Yeah.
to get stuck into something.
You get that quick burst of excitement, that like quick instant gratification where
Yeah,
you might not get it anywhere else.
yeah, because I have to get onto editing a video. I don't know if I don't think anybody noticed, but I've been putting one out every day.
I've been seeing, yeah, some of the thumbnails, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Patrick's having a ball.
Just
Yeah,
pumping them out, and
well done, well
yeah.
done.
But now I've got like nothing left, so that's it. I've been spent.
Oh wow, lots of hard work in the
I've
making.
got
Good stuff.
I've got to review this headset, so that's going to be probably the video for Monday. Sunday will still be Dirt Report, and then I will have a Windows 11 video on after the 10th of July. I'm giving them a bit of time, and I've bought a new webcam because I want to do more videos to the cam to share stuff on the screen, and I think I need to do it at 4K, so I bought a 4K webcam, and I'll review that too at the same time.
Fantastic.
So that should be good, but yeah, I think that's it. I think we're out of topics. I was going to talk about Windows 11.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, let's talk about Windows 11. And Joe wants to give a sneak preview of the headset.
It's a Logitech one, right?
Yeah, it's Logitech.
Yeah.
It's
wow, it's so like baby
cool.
blue. It's really bright blue.
I love the new colors, yeah. And it's cheaper than like the G933. I don't know. You know that which one? The one you have, the Logitech one.
Yeah. I use it on the console.
Yeah, and it performs really well, and it's got a little microphone attachment, so it pops in there, and you've got a microphone. But it sounds brilliant.
Did it just fall out?
Yeah, you plug it in. See, it's like a little...
Nice. All right. Yeah. I was like, wow, high quality. Just starts falling apart.
But I really like it. I think the RGB, the colors, and the price of it is... I think it's probably one of the best wireless headphones you can get right now. But stay tuned for the review. The color is great. Excellent. It's such... I think somebody said in the start it looks like a Doctor Who thing. Yeah, Cyberman, that is.
Yeah. You look like what's his name? Mega Man.
Oh, Mega Man, yeah.
Yeah, with the blue, yeah.
So I think it's... Oh, and if you do this, you can...
Nice.
Hello. Bane. I don't know.
Oh, yes. That's right. Yeah. I was like, is it going to be a Smurf now? Yeah. Okay. Bane.
It is a bit of a Smurf. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm really excited to do that video. I've just completed the review of this keyboard, the G915. So that'll be tomorrow. Yes, rioting around Parliament. At the moment, we're still in lockdown, so it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Windows 11 has arrived. They lied to us. It was supposed to be Windows 10 forever and ever, amen.
I know, that's what I thought. I'm like, they went back on their word.
They did. And, oops, sorry, hang on. I wanted to play that video. I'm going to try and resize it so it fits better in here. And look, I understand why, because you can think about it in a way that Apple has done with their versions. There's always a new one. People get really excited because it's a new number. Numbers going up is really exciting. And Windows going, oh, it's just another update. It's not as fun, right? It's not as exciting. So from the get-go, I think we'll see number 12. We'll see 13, 14. I think we're going to see versions from now on. I think it's going to be pretty clear that it's going to be big versions.
Question for you, Patrick. Do I have to pay for this?
No. So this is free for current Windows 10 users. And the one thing you have to note is you have to have a TPM. TechPad Man.
Oh, TechPad Man. I already have one of those, so I'll be good.
The TPM is a trusted platform module, which is like a chip that saves all your security information, right?
Okay.
And the good thing is most AMD CPUs have a built into the CPU, so we should be fine. So I've been using the dev build, the first one that came out, for about a week now. So it came out Tuesday this week, so it's been 3 days. Don't put it onto your daily driver computer. It's really, really bad right now. It's really clank. There's issues. Things aren't working correctly. I'm going to go back to it as soon as there's a new version because I really loved it. I loved using it. The middle start button, fantastic. I love it. Like the biggest change, but it was so easy to like remember where it is. And when you have an ultra wide computer and you're always working in the center, going down to the center to get your start menu is fantastic. The only thing I don't like is the start menu. You can't save many icons. It's like very limited. So that's a problem. But man, I'm really excited. This Windows looks great. And apart from the issues I had, I felt it ran pretty well for being like the first version out of the gate. Like it ran well for what it is. Because I remember Windows 10 when the dev version came out. It was bad. It was
Oh my
bad.
God, why does this look like a Mac? This
Ah,
looks like Apple
yes,
software.
it does. Yes, because the Apple iOS has the start menu in the middle, so it pops up there, and it's
Yeah.
everything's very rounded, and all the corners are rounded, and all sorts of things like that. This is probably the coolest thing you can get, which is like the ability to put your windows into resize them into different sizes. So you know how we always have trouble trying to resize where we put the YouTube channel thing and then our video
I
and all
like
that
that.
stuff.
I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so this should make it a lot easier. They've put Teams instead of Skype now. It's going to be Teams connected into your like computer, like pre-installed. I think
Yep.
that's good because Skype sucks.
Okay. Yep. That's good.
And what else? What's content curated? Yeah, they've got a little thing menu, like, Apple has a little pop-up with the news section and weather and stuff. I'm actually starting to use it more because I've become a bit lazy, so I put all these widgets in there and go, oh, what's the stock price of X and what's the weather today, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah. Great.
Well, Game Pass, we know what it is. And I think the other interesting with the Windows 11 thing is that the settings carry over to other PCs a little bit better. So if you're logging into multiple PCs like you would with Apple, where you have your OneDrive or your Apple Drive, iCloud, it seems to work a lot better with Windows 11. I've got a laptop that I loaded up with Windows 11, and it synced really well. And I was like, whoa, that's incredible how quickly it synced up and had all my files
Wow.
across. Yeah, really cool. But I'll make a full video about that and put some thoughts down after the 10th because I want to use the new webcam and I want to get an update so I can use this daily. I can daily drive it. That'll be cool. But don't do it if you want to daily drive. Definitely not now. It's way
Yeah.
too
No.
early. Yeah.
I'll probably update in a year or two, to be honest.
October, I think you'll get the free update.
Oh, is it? I'll just get it. I don't have a choice.
Oh no, yeah, good question actually. I don't know if it's gonna be mandatory.
Oh no.
But the reason you might want to do that is because Windows 10 support is ending in 2025.
Oh, that's okay. Heaps of time.
But then you might have to buy Windows 11, right? So you want to get it when they give it for free and then not have to buy it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah, makes sense.
Joe Blogs asks, so what new webcam? It's the Brio 4K, not the Dell one that came out. I just thought it was a bit overpriced and I can't even get it in Australia. I tried ordering from the Dell website, but it didn't work. So it's the Brio 4K. It's a business one, but it's 4K, so we'll see what it is. If not, it's
Okay.
from Amazon. I can return it, if I don't like it. Yeah, and oh yes, and just one other thing with the Windows 11, you can launch Android apps via the Amazon App Store. Bit weird, but
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. Wow.
So yeah, and that's it. That's all we have for you today.
Lovely. Thank you.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting year. Lots of years ahead after that, hopefully. We've got the new financial year as of yesterday, 1st of July. So tax time, folks. Make sure to
Yep.
get your tax in. Where can we find you, Casper?
You can find me at Game with Casper. I have a video coming out sometime later tonight. Another episode of Why Should You Care?
I haven't been seeing the notifications for those videos. Have you put out
Yeah.
one out this week?
No, it's coming out tonight.
Okay.
The thing is, I don't have an option for a notification bell. So there's no way for me to ever
Oh,
communicate to
right.
anybody when I have new content. You just have to go to my channel because I'm not a partner, a YouTube partner. I'm a renegade solo artist.
Oh.
Yeah, essentially I just don't have enough subscribers and watch hours.
That's why I
To
keep
be
missing your
eligible.
video. Yeah, I keep missing the videos, and then I see them later. I'm like, what the hell? They're already 2-3 days old, and I haven't seen them. So
Yeah.
is it 1,000 subscribers and 4,000
Yeah.
watch hours?
4,000 watch hours, 1,000 subscribers. So maybe by 2025, when I get Windows 11, I'll be a YouTube partner. Woohoo!
Absolutely. Maybe earlier than that. 2024.
Yeah. Yeah, 2024. Let's do it.
Friends, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. We'll be back next week, hopefully together in your
Reunited.
house. Reunited. Oh, no, we won't. No, it'll be like this again.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because I'm still working from home next week.
Oh yeah, I gotta check because I might be going to a dinner on a Friday. I'll let you know.
And not have State of the Beanstalks podcast? What?
I know.
Now
Yes,
do it from the
it's
dinner table. Just have your phone.
Okay.
Like,
All right, I'll get all the other people in on this as well. TikTok.
Yogi B says, "What's the channel?"
Oh, what's the channel? Hold on, maybe I can
put a link in there before
I
we
can
finish.
just say hello. I'll be like, it's me.
Oh yeah, people can just click on you, right?
Yeah, that's
Can they?
me. That's the channel.
Have you posted it?
I did in the chat.
No, you got blocked.
Oh no! You know what? Because I used like 100 exclamation marks.
Oh no.
I'll be like, hello. There. Can you see me now?
Casper got deleted.
I did get destroyed. Oh no.
There we go. I think. Oh, I just tried to do @ and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. YouTube doesn't like me.
No. Okay. It's
There I
game
am.
with
I came
Casper.
out now. Yeah.
There we go. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone. Catch you all next time. Same YouTube channel.
Yes.
Same
YouTube
people.
channel. Yes.
Different seats.
Possibly.
Different location.
Yes. And hopefully less restrictions.
And less COVIDs. Bye.
Bye.